Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming down for this webinar with Istituto Marangoni, Mumbai. So we're so happy that all of you all have come here. We think that Istituto Marangoni is a really good college for you to consider uh, for those who are considering fashion design as their area of interest for their programs. So looking forward to enjoying this session with all of y'all. Um, I have to introduce two people who are the panelists who are representing Istituto Marangoni. We have uh, Maheep Bubber, and Maheep is one of the core team that is part of the admissions and ensuring that all of you hear about Marangoni and find out all the information that you need. And apart from Maheep, we have Viral Shah, who's also from the same academic team, the admissions team. All right, so welcome Maheep and Viral. First, I'd like you both to share your webcams with us so that everyone can see you. Right, and that's me. Hi, good to see you, Maheep.
Hi, Dion. Yes, same here.
All right, good to see you. And do we have Viral joining us as well right away, or would he take time? I know he's already on the panel list.
Hey, hi Dion. Hi Dion. Sorry, I think there's some issue with my webcam, but so as long as you can hear us, Maheep, I think so. Our young gentleman should be good enough.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay,
to represent us visually.
Always, you can definitely get in and answer any questions if required. All right. But looks
Absolutely.
like I'm also having trouble with my network, so I'm going to turn my webcam off. Right. And Maheep, you can start off right away. All right. So I'd let you introduce yourself, what you do, what Viral does at Marangoni, and then you can start off with your presentation. I will.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, good evening, everyone. As you are aware, my name is Maheep Bubber. I represent Istituto Marangoni for all the 10 campuses around the globe for Southeast Asia. Along with me, I have Mr. Viral Shah. He is the manager. He takes care of the admissions and the marketing, and my job is more into the outreach. Now, coming up, this was about me. Now, I think we should start with the Marangoni. I'm sure you would want to know more what Istituto Marangoni is all about. So let's start with the presentation.
Oh, just 1 second. I need to make you the presenter.
Yes,
you're the presenter.
Perfect. So here is the presentation that I'm going to be delivering today. It's on Istituto Marangoni. For the ones who are not aware of Istituto Marangoni, it's an Italian design school which started in 1935 in Milan. We are the pioneers of design education. It was started by Mr. Giulio Capellini, who was the tailor with the aristocrats in Milan. And later he started his training center where he was, training the other designers on the luxury segment. That's why still the DNA is luxury. Without saying much, I would like to start with a video.
Studied the Master of Fashion Design. Everything is fashion.
Io studio interior design.
Io ho scelto interior design at the school.
My name is Chris. They come from policy.
Studio fashion design. The meaning of fashion. I want to be a fashion designer. Volevo fare progettista.
don't care who I take.
Perfect. I'm sure you have liked the video. Now let's start again. We were founded in 1935. We are a school which is known for fashion, arts, and design. I hope you have already seen in that video. Now, every year we have about 4,000 students who's getting graduated, and we have almost a alumni list of 45,000 people working in the industry. Now, what makes us unique? Did I mention that we are also in the top 10 schools in the world? Yes, we are. So what makes us unique? Definitely the creation. We have, the subjects, right, which will make sure that you are learning creation in terms of fashion design, interior design, graphic design, communication. We have got managerial coordination subjects, fashion business, interior management, product management. And of course, we have a very unique collaboration with industry partners. You'll be getting to know about it in my later slides. Now, when I said I've got 10 schools, we started in Milan, then we went to Paris, then we went to London, Shanghai. Then I got a school in Shenzhen, Florence, and now we have school in Mumbai, followed by we also started in Miami. Now, Mumbai school is a school of fashion and art. I will be sharing more details on that. Now, the first school that I have is the Milan, the School of Fashion. Now, every school has a specialization to it. So let's talk about the first school, Milan, the School of Fashion. It has all the fashion related courses. It was founded by Mr. Giulio Capellini, as I said before. Second school is the School of Design. All the design related courses, interior design, graphic design, multimedia design, product design, design side to the business side of the certain programs, you would be finding it in this school. This is being taken care by Mr. Giulio Capellini. He is the father of furniture designing and lighting environment design. Florence. Do you know what Florence is famous for? Well, for those who doesn't know, Florence is the art capital of the world, which also specializes in the menswear in the fashion industry. So any student who wants to go for art curation, art management, which is super niche courses, but best in the categories, I would always ask my students to go to Florence. Or the students who are very much keen in the fashion industry, be it design, be it business, be it styling, but want to put their specialization in the menswear, again, Florence is the campus to be in. And Milan is the campus for the women's wear. Now, Paris, everybody knows Paris, isn't it? Paris, on the other side, let me tell you, it is definitely the fashion capital of the world, but it specializes in the haute couture. Haute couture is the highest level of fashion. It is that fashion. Let me take an example. A few years back, a wedding in London took place, a royal wedding. The bride wore a Saint Laurent haute couture dress. It is that one dress made for one specific person with all the patent rights, with all the precious metals and precious gems, stones being put in. This is what Paris is famous for. Now, London. A lot of students wants to go to London, isn't it? The good thing about London is that few months back, student used to go to London, study in London, and had to come back to their the home country. The reason was very simple: the government wasn't giving a work visa before, but now since 3 to 4 months, students are getting the work visa for 2 years. So the moment you complete the undergraduation program of 3 years, you are entitled to get a 2-year work visa as per the government guidelines. All right. Now, London was also famous for the business aspects. Anyone who wants to, join in the business side of fashion or interiors, that's the place to be in. Miami, it's a school of fashion, all fashion-related courses. We started about 2 years back as per the government guidelines. Okay, this is about the Mumbai. This is our campus. Well, this is our Mumbai campus. It's one of the most beautiful campuses of Marangoni till date. Now, the best thing about Istituto Marangoni is that we don't have a franchise here. We don't have an affiliation centers. That means any school you get in is directly taken care by the headquarters, be it Mumbai campus, be it Milan, be it London, be it Florence. You'll see the same facility, you'll see the same facilitators, you'll see the same accreditations, certifications, everything is going to be the same. The only difference is the geographics and the fee structure. I think we are the only school in India where student can do a year in India, can do a 2 years in India, and just need to cross the class without any extra certification, can go for the next year in another school of Marangoni. So you can start your course anywhere, you can end your course anywhere. This is the benefit given to all the students. Now, talking about the Mumbai School of Fashion and Design, these are few courses that we cater. We cater around 4 courses in the undergraduate program: fashion design, fashion business, fashion styling, interior designing. It's a 3-year undergraduate program where you can do a year in India, you can do 2 years in London, Milan, Paris, Florence, or you can do 2 years in India and you can do the last year in Milan, Paris, or Florence. Or you can also look for the postgraduate executive programs. Luxury brand management and marketing is one of the super in courses in the industry, and we are, I think, the pioneers in that. With that said, so we also have some short courses: fashion business and entrepreneurship, fashion image and styling, fashion designing and illustration, interior designing and lighting environment. It's a 4-week program. The ones who are a little confused, or or ones who already have studied the same course but wants to sharpen their memory, short courses are going to help them in a lot of ways. Now, when I talk about Istituto Marangoni, there is not a single big fashion shows or the the interior designs exhibitions where Istituto Marangoni students are not putting up their collection. So you can name any Miami school, Miami fashion show. You talk about Milan fashion show. You talk about London fashion show. Everywhere our students are putting up their collection. So this is what Marangoni is all about. Another one video for you. The design weeks that we participate in across the world. Well, now let's talk about career days, or let's talk about the placements, isn't it? That's one of the most important question in every student's mind, isn't it? So when we talk about career days, we let me just go a little bit back and give you a little more, knowledge about our faculties as well. Well, with Istituto Marangoni, I have got 70% of our facilitators are going to be the ones who are coming from the luxury brands. They would be the ones who will be working with Louis Vuitton, Prada, Armani, Versace, Christian Dior, H&M, Inditex, Max Mara, Burberry, Chanel. I'm sure you have heard about all these names, isn't it? So they are going to be working with them, and then they would come to our institution and would be teaching our students in, in the core area which they specialize in, let's say pattern cutting, or maybe, concept of designing, or maybe draping, drafting, stitching. There are 100 areas to work on. So they come over, they teach our students, and because they also, is from the luxury brands, or the brands which are already making a lot of collections, they give a live projects to my students. So my students from the year one is literally working on the live projects of the brands. The class is going to be of 20 students. Out of 20 students, the best two are going to be submitting their, the submission to the head who asked for it in that company. So in the same time, you're going to be having a direct connection with the facilitator who's a working professional, And also the best ones are going to be having a direct connect with the head of the departments, head of design, head of marketing, who literally is, is the head of the project. The project head is there. They are the ones who will be in contact with. Now, this is a 70%, the criteria. 30% are the alumni of Istituto Marangoni who have studied in Milan, Paris, London, Florence, have worked there for some time, and have come back to their country and working in the industry. Now, they're also going to be teaching you. They're also going to be your mentors. They know the Indian industry, they know the international industry. Now, how does this career days works? If you have noticed, everyone who is teaching you is a working professional. They are the ones who is going to teach you. They are the ones who is going to help you get the right placements and giving you the right career opportunities. That's how we work with Marangoni. Some examples. When I said opportunities, Alexandra McQueen, Chanel, Christian Dior, Dolce & Gabbana, Fendi, Gucci, Giorgio Armani, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Moschino, Ralph Lauren, Prada. These are the brands that my students have been getting. And the data is from 2018 till now. If I talk about last 10 years, 15 years data that you can see it on LinkedIn, I will also be going to that slide just to give you a little reference. All the top brands which I've mentioned before, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Armani, Versace, they are the recruiters with a 94% placement ratio, with 88% only with the luxury brands. These are the pros in studying with Istituto Marangoni. Some more brands, some live projects. When I'm talking about live projects, there are almost every year student is going to be having about 3 to 4 live projects. In totality, about 3 years down the line, you have a resume which has 10 plus live projects you have worked with. So understand, when you go into the market, the whole experience that you can show to them and can have the best possible opportunities for yourself. I'll skip this video. This is the video which our students have worked with Alice in Wonderland movie. The dresses, right from the dresses made for for some of the models, for the and also the fashion show conducted was all taken care by my fashion design students and fashion business students in help with graphic designers and interior design students. This is the video that we were talking about. You can also see it in the YouTube. Max Mara, this is again a live project. Moraki, a shoe designer. Sadie, again shoe designer. Slam. Slam is, so the ones who are not aware of the Slam is one of the brand of Mr. Giulio Capellini. As I said, he's a father of furniture designing and lighting environment design. So Slam takes care of the lighting environment. Rado, I'm sure everyone is aware of Rado. So my students were last year working on the project with Rado on the spectacles. Park Hyatt, Milano, right from the furniture to the lighting environment. Christian Dior. My students have literally designed Christian Dior's Milan, showroom. Another one, thing I would like to share is one of my students was working with Ravioli. Ravioli is one of the embroidery brand, the Italian embroidery brand which works in India, and they get the work from Milan. They were working on again a Christian Dior dress with they will be using the the material which is Swarovski. They made up a dress and then they put it in the the Christian Dior showroom. Now in that project, Istituto Marangoni Mumbai students were working in. Now a few of our alumni. Domenico Dolce from Dolce & Gabbana, Franco Moschino, Alexandra from Tod's, Raul Mishra. This is one of the video which you would like to see. We have a wide history of alumni.
Always, it's always like I feel like I will have heart attack before the show. I think we were really lucky to have such great time at Marangoni. Anything's possible. Follow your dreams, create what you love, and nothing's impossible.
I would love to be a student again. I would easily do the whole course again.
This fantastic school and this fantastic job and career that I expect you after will always pay you back in satisfaction.
Well, this was about few of our alumni. Rahul Mishra, if you have heard, Akshay Tyagi, alumni. So I've got a lot of another alumni who's a stylist for Ranveer Singh, Shah Rukh Khan, Miss Akanksha Arora. She's an alumni. She's also going to be one of your facilitators in the fashion styling, course. Now, one thing I would like to share, like let's say, because I was talking about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is, I think, the best, platform where you can literally see the brand associations of the institution. All right, rather any institution. So it's very simple. You just need to go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is basically a platform where you need to put your details like where have you studied, where are you working, where have you worked. So because of these information, a lot of filters can be made. Likewise, one of the filters, if you have put, let's say I've studied at Istituto Marangoni, and when I go to a Istituto Marangoni page, on the left side column, you'll see alumni. You click on that, a lot of students who have mentioned that they have studied from Istituto Marangoni, the details are going to come. So this page would come, which you're seeing in front of you. In the top, you can even mention 2000 to 2020, or you can put 2010 to 2020. You'll have the latest 10 years or 20 years data. This is what information will come in front of you. If you look in, about 12,513 alumni have mentioned that we have studied during this time. About 187 are working with Istituto Marangoni. Remember, I told you about 30% students who is now, the alumni who are working with Istituto Marangoni as facilitators. These are those. Then Dolce Gabbana, Gucci, Prada, Giorgio Armani, Inditex, H&M. As I mentioned, these are the, the number of students who's working with these brands. Not because they are big, but because the number of students are working with them. Another good thing that you would need to see is how many are working in art and design, how many are working in the business development, marketing, sales, media communications, education, operation. This is another one data is very important for you to understand. So definitely, I mean, when you go on LinkedIn, you click on the next, you'll see a lot of data to, for yourself, and that will definitely give you a lot of boost. Well, now to connect with me on Istituto Marangoni, or the information about the course, curriculum, admission process, fee structure, you're most welcome to connect with us via Mr. John. You can go on to our website. We'll also put our details in the chat box soon, and definitely you'll be receiving an email from our end. Now, any specific questions, Dion, you have it for me from your students?
Yeah. So so now we are open for questions, and we'd be happy if as many of you all ask questions as much as possible. All right. But some of the things that strike me, until the questions come in, Maheep, some of the things that strike me about Marangoni when I visit the place. Okay.
Negative part, of course.
Sorry.
Sorry, didn't get you.
Yeah. So when I visited Marangoni in Mumbai, the first thing that strikes me is the location and the infrastructure you'll have there. All right. So how important is it to be located in that place, that part of Mumbai? And I know that all your infrastructure has been imported from Italy. Why is that so important for you all to do?
See, I tell you what, with Istituto Marangoni, this is a very good question, Dion. I'll give you a little information about that. So when you look into Istituto Marangoni's, rather all campuses, wherever you'll see, you'll find out that we are exactly in the center of a fashion hub, or we are exactly at a place where where my students are going to have an experience of their lifetime. So likewise, when if you come over to the Mumbai campus, that's first thing first you'll see is it's one of the most poshest place. The moment you get inside the building, the feel that you get is again all about luxury. This is the luxury element, as I mentioned before, the DNA. We want to put that in you because that is having the maximum demand in the industry. The moment you know how to sell the luxury garments or or the luxury designs or how to feel the luxury segment and make your buyers feel the same, this is what you want, what we want to put in you. The facilities, as I said again, the facilities, the facilitators, everything is exactly what you see in all the 10 campuses. It's going to be at the top notch quality.
Right, right. So
Dion, can I add? Can I add
yes,
something
yes,
to
sir.
what
Yes,
Maheep
please.
already covered? Uh, yes. So obviously, one of the reason it's is the accessibility. Okay. Apart from yes, we having the best infrastructure. The accessibility not only for the students but also for the industry as well as the faculties. Okay, so generally what we've seen, yes, we do have these universities which would have a residential facility, but unfortunately it would be located, kilometers away from the main city. Okay, what happens in that case is getting a good facilitator or a tutor to deliver it to the students becomes difficult at times. Okay, and with city obviously like Bangalore or Mumbai where commuting is a major concern, no facilitator is going to spend 3 hours traveling for a 2 hours lecture. Okay, so being in the city, being very close to the fashion hub, uh, not also to the fashion hub, but also the proximity to textile market, to accessories market. This also helps the students, and to get a good facilitator deliver lessons to our students. So that also is and not only for lessons, even for master class, for open days, for internships, placements. These things play a very, very big role, you know. And not only to that, even store visits. Many a times we do store visits. We do give our students access to fashion weeks, design exhibitions and things like that. These things become fairly accessible if you are at the heart of the city, and that's what not only Mumbai campus but even our Milan campus, everywhere, this is what we intend to follow, you know.
Yeah,
So, go ahead, go ahead.
absolutely. Yeah, I've been, I mean, to the campuses, of course, both in Milan and Florence as well. Pretty cool. Okay. Right. So the next thing is in terms of your the programs that you offer there. Okay, the there are very unique programs. I mean, luxury brand management, and is it more of a management type of a how related is it to fashion design? Okay, or do you need sketching for that, or is it more management oriented? The brand management part of it. How important is sketching in the brand management part of the program?
Viral, would you like to answer that? Hello. All right. So I think I should answer that.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yes, Mike, go ahead. No issue.
Yes, it's a management related course. Hello. Yes, luxury brand management is not just only going to focus on the fashion industry. So never assume that it's only going to be fashion. Luxury brand management is, let's say, can be taken as also as a doing a MBA, BBA in the in the luxury and the fashion and design department. In this course you would be learning everything right from what the buyer's job is, what is forecasting, how to make your own brand identity, how to take it to the next level and put it into the luxury segment, how to work on the sales, how to work on the strategizing. Everything is going to be planning, everything would be taken care in this luxury brand management marketing program.
So for
Marketing,
that
BPL activities, everything would be
Yes.
taken care.
all right. So
Yes,
sketching
yeah.
is not really a requirement over there, is it?
No, not at all.
No. So the luxury brand management is out and out a management course. Okay, so many students so there are two types of students who generally join us for this kind of program. Someone probably who's done a BBA and would want to kind of get into management side of luxury, and probably who dreams to get involved with luxury businesses. So that is one segment of students we have. The others are students who probably would have done design program in their undergraduate. Okay, for example, like maybe fashion styling or fashion design, and would and kind of dreams of venturing into starting their own brand. So these are the kind of students who enroll for this program. uh, all the cases, all the case studies are all going to be focused into luxury. So again, when I say it's not only fashion luxury brands, it could be fashion, it could be accessories, it could be even service, it could be anything which is addressed to sec a customer. So even if broadly speaking, how would you sell a Rolls Royce in your city, even that also could be a part of this case study. You get it? Yeah, but it's a management
All
course.
right.
Yes.
Cool. Pretty interesting. Um, so there's a question from Sejal Pahare. On what basis are
Mhm.
students shortlisted when they apply to your programs?
Okay.
There-
So historically, yeah. So historically, we've never had tests. Okay. Um, it's always been portfolio for the design programs. Okay, that we would want to assess a CV, your statement of purpose. So on one side, we are trying to assess whether you're creative enough to get into this field. Obviously, at this stage, we are not expecting you to already be a designer. Hope you understand. We are not here to make or a fashion designer a designer. Okay, we would want someone who's creatively inclined, and we would want to take it from there. So that is just 50% of it. Okay, the other side of it is also we would want to know the student is not only academically good. We also would want to know do they excel in other areas too. Okay, and third and most important thing is passion for us. We would want to see how passionate this student is in taking up a program that we have, okay, or in the career that they have chosen. So that's also one of the reasons why we may not have a foundation year. If the student is passionate, is always been passionate in becoming an interior designer or a fashion stylist, would directly start with that course from day one. Okay, and then we would take it from there. So these are the basic few things that we would need to assess their eligibility for us. Yeah. But on the other hand, we only take 20 students per class. So yeah, so that's also one of the requirements. Yeah.
All right, all right. So there's a follow-up question from Sejal,
Mhm.
asking what do you
Mhm.
expect in a portfolio, ideally, because someone who's creatively inclined. So what do they need to really showcase?
Sure. So again, it's, as I mentioned, if you are applying for fashion styling, and if you have a fashion styling focused portfolio, it's good. Okay, but if it's not, then yes, we just want to see different. It could be photography, it could be a mix. Okay, it could be photography, it could be hand sketching, it could be an oil painting that you've done, it could be a 3D structure that you've created. As long as we have variations, around 5 to 6 different types of creative things that you can showcase along with creative writing, I think so that's good enough for us on the portfolio side of it. Okay, as long as it's done by the student, and they have a story behind it, I think that's what works for us.
All right, all right. And you know what? I think the requirement for creative writing is very important. Okay,
Exactly.
and that's something
Hmm.
that's neglected a lot. So my question to you is, why do you all consider creative writing so important in, when it comes to your admission?
Um, you mean statement of purpose, or you mean the portfolio creative writing?
The portfolio creative writing.
Exact. So again, Dion, anything that the student has done. Okay, again, at the end of the day, it's not an arts course. Okay, it's a design course. We would want to see uh, how the student is expressing it. Okay, again, along with that, their English also gets tested. Okay, so, and at the end of the day, there have been brands which have been created on just on the basis of a good background stories. So that's the importance of creative writing somewhere. So whatever they are submitting, just a short paragraph, 6 lines, good enough, as long as they can justify what they've done, what they've put it up over there. I think so that works for us. That works for us.
All right, all right, all right. So cool, cool. Yeah. So uh, there's another question. Are interdisciplinary courses included? And I don't think you'll have any interdisciplinary programs, is it? You don't, right?
No, 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 no. Because the
Oh,
undergraduation would be in one area, then the student can kind of take it up, a part of it, or maybe they want to explore any other areas. We do have a range of postgraduate courses at our campuses abroad, so a student can always explore that.
okay. So they do an undergraduate program here, and then they go there for the postgraduate.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
Right. So, which brings me to the next point. What is the degree given? So there's a question from Shridula Balaji. She's asking
Mhm.
what is the degree format that you give? If you all could throw some light on that.
Sure. So we have what we call it a cross-country program, a progression course, wherein if a student is doing 1 year in Mumbai, okay, and then progresses for the next 2 years in London, the student gets a BA honors degree, okay, uh, in association with our affiliation partner, which is MMU. Okay, so that's a degree that the student would get if they happen to pursue 1 year in Mumbai and 2 years in London and Paris. Okay. Alternatively, if the student is doing 2 years in Mumbai, okay, and the last year, if that the student happens to progress to our campus in Milan, Florence, or Paris, the student would be getting a diploma. Okay, but
Can I
again,
add on
as
to
far
it?
as yeah, sure, 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 go ahead.
Yeah. So as far as if you talk about London or Canada or India, in art and design domain, if you complete a 3-year program or 4-year undergraduate program, as per the government guidelines, the name of the certification is called degree, which we are also offering in our London and Paris campus. But when we talk about Europe, which is Milan, Florence, and also Paris, The moment you complete a 3 years or 4 years undergraduate, a certification in arts and design domain, it's called European diploma. So if anyone asks me what is the difference, you know it now. It's the highest credential given as per the, the rules and regulations. So there's not much difference which you'll see.
All right, all right. So the other thing is that the student has to do some part of the education in India and some part abroad. That's mandatory.
The student can also do all 3 years in, Milan, Paris, London, Florence. But I mean, having an Indian passport and having a home ground, it's always good to have a good hands-on in your industry first. So let's say if you have worked for a year, 2 years in India, and when you go out, you will have that extra benefit of learning in the other country and exhibiting in some other country. That will make you a little different and unique in your own way. And also that is one idea. The other idea is the moment you let's say you do 2 years in India, you do the last year in Milan, you studied there, you worked there, and one day you want to come back to India. India would be able to absorb you because you have spent 2 years in India and you know the in and out of the industry. So that's another one benefit which my students are getting at this point of time.
Awesome. And what are the, just a second, do you have your fashion or design weeks? Sejal, I'm not sure I understood the question thoroughly. If you could please elaborate on that question, that would be helpful. All right. Right. Okay. So she'll get back with me on that. Right. But in terms of the industry interaction in India, okay. Right. So what really is the exposure that a student can get at this level? When they're just fresh, they're just doing 1 year here in India, and in their first year, can they really get that exposure to work with a fashion designer and the practically,
Okay.
within the first 2 semesters?
Sure. So, okay. So Dion, first year, obviously it's too foundational because the students are still just starting with to understand the technicalities of the course that they've enrolled for. Okay. Generally, by the second year, by the end of second year is when they are able to kind of put up a small collection together, be it design, be it styling. They would do their own shoots, be it a magazine shoot or interior shoots and things like that. So 2 years is what we would consider to be at least the bare minimum for a student to kind of start looking out for maybe an internships or any placement opportunities also. As Maheep also mentioned, most of our faculties, okay, are not academicians throughout their life. They are all industry professionals. Okay, this also gives our students that access to the industry way, much before they even are eligible to access our career services. So we've seen it happening. Students at the end of first year just by uh, you know by the merits in the class itself, they've got opportunities via tutors. So this is also something that we've witnessed. Uh, in any which ways, the student also has this option to transfer to our European campus and get access to the career services there, which again gives them access to some luxury brands to their headquarters also. And it works.
All right, all right. Cecil has given a clarification on the question. So she's like, your students from India, okay? When do they have like a design week where they get to showcase what they have done? Because I think from what I understand, they do 1 year here and 2 years in Italy or wherever, Italy or London or whatever,
Mhm.
or they do 2 years here and 1 year there. So do
Okay.
they get to showcase their work here in India, like through a Marangoni week, design week? Do they get to showcase that here, or
Absolutely.
do they get to
So
showcase that over there? Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So at the end of second year, before they would want to transfer to our European campus, we do have a Mumbai fashion showcase. Okay. Um, I think so, Maheep, if you can just share the link also, you'll and the most important thing, I think so, for everyone who's kind of logged in right now, do access or do subscribe to our Istituto Marangoni _Mumbai Instagram page, where you'll be able to see all the activities that we've done so far, be it master classes. In fact, today itself, we had a fashion styling masterclass with Akshay Tyagi. He's one of the celebrity stylists, so these are the things that will happen, and the student would showcase their collection at the end of second year here, and after they transfer to the campus abroad, again on the merits, obviously, uh, depending on the number of students and the submissions and the assessments, the students are chosen for the fashion week and to showcase at our own shows. Yeah.
All right. Cool. That's interesting.
And as far as our alumni are concerned, Dhruv Kapoor, Rahul Mishra, they've been showcasing not only in India, in fashion weeks in India, they also showcase in Paris, Milan, Anvita. All these guys are already put up on our Instagram handle. You'll be able to see their collection. Also, you'll be able to see the kind of fashion weeks they have showcased into.
Okay. All right. Cool. Right. I think that's pretty much it as far as the questions are concerned. If there's any more questions, please feel free to ask. We still have a few more minutes left. But yeah, I think I'm not seeing more questions coming in, but I think it was a nice session. All right. So Maheep and Viral, if we can probably close the session here.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Sure.
making it here and spending this time with our students and getting them that exposure. And really appreciate
Thank you.
what you
Thank
had
you,
to say
John.
about.
And
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
And
Dion,
thank
for.
you to all the students
I'll
for
be putting an email,
receiving
Dion,
it.
so you can share with the students.
sure. All right. Okay. And to the students, we have a group, a WhatsApp group, specifically for the students who are interested in Instituto Marangoni. So what you can do is you can message my number 959-100-1000, and I'll send you the link so that you can join into the group. All right. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
Thank you,
much. Have a
Dion.
nice day,
And thanks
everyone.
to all the students.
Sure.
Stay
Okay.
safe. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.